What is going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another episode of Roads to 1000 Elo. Now, we are on a bit of a up. If you guys have seen the last episode, you would have seen me explaining that I was in a bit of a chest rut where I was just losing, and we dropped to as low as 530 odd elo from 670. Now, as you can see, we are back to 597. What I will do is I will go through two games that I have played, one that I've literally just finished playing and one that I have played off camera and I lost that game. So we'll go through the win and we'll go through the loss together. Hopefully from the next episode I'll be able to show you guys the games as I play them. But I have had actually an episode already done like this. It's just I ended up losing both of those games and I was quite upset with myself and I didn't quite like how the episode turned out, so I decided to not upload it. But we'll go through one of the games. We'll go through the game that I played today. So if you enjoy everything you're seeing, if you're enjoying this road to 1000 elo, please do consider subscribing, as I would love to grow this channel and I would love to grow this community as much as possible. But without further ado, let's get into it and I will see you on the chessboard. Alrighty, so for today's game, it's the game that I played literally just before starting this episode. I have started off with d4 as you do and as I always do, and I've been hit with the England Gambit. Now, the one thing I do know about the England Gambit is you're meant to take. This game, when I finished, I ended up on about 70% accuracy, so I didn't play the best chess, but I also thought I had other ideas that I probably should have done. So my opponent decided to develop his knight attacking the pawn. I have developed my knight defending the pawn, and he then developed the bishop, and I decided to, you know what, let's just develop the other knight. He got his knight out, which I thought was a bit of a strange move because it blocks his queen. I developed my bishop. Obviously he then castled, which was best for him. I decided to basically move my queen because I've seen that he castled this way and I wanted to castle the opposite way just in case we can launch a kingside attack. So then he developed, and what it tells me is that I should have taken with en passant. However, as I am 600 elo, I have literally forgot about en passant, so instead I did castle. It does say it's an inaccuracy and I've lost all the advantage I had. So he then developed his bishop and I have decided to take the pawn. Now the reason for that is because I've noticed I had two pieces on this diagonal, so if he was to take with his knight and his queen, I would be getting a pawn for free essentially. So that's what happened. We ended up trading pieces. I felt pretty good about that. He decided to essentially defend his bishop. I have decided to basically cut this diagonal off that he had around here. It says it's an accuracy and that it wasn't the best move. However, the reason why I played it was to also unlock my f bishop as well, my light squared bishop. So he then decided to try and go for a trade. In hindsight, I wish I had gone for it. Instead, I have decided to develop because I was scared of some sort of back rank problems. However, I did have this rook available for me anyway, but he ended up targeting my rook again. So I just thought, you know what, let's just take with check. He took back, and in here I should have just taken his light squared bishop. However, I don't know why, I was a little bit skeptical about it. So instead I decided to develop my push my pawn, which did weaken my king side slightly. However, I thought if he is going to take, I can just take back, and I keep seeing his king on the back rank and I wanted to keep it that way. So he then pushed his pawn, which was a mistake. I have developed my knight, which the engine hates again because it is saying for me to take. But again, like I did say, I did want it to have another piece cut in of these sort of diagonals before trading. So as soon as he moved his bishop, I just decided to pin it to the rook, and that was not a great move from him, because I was able to take the rook, he took back, and I've seen that I have this move available to me, which was to push the pawn, and I believe on the engine it said that was a great move, and I was quite happy with it because I'm able to win this pawn. I'm threatening to take this knight, also threatening to take this, or even push forwards to develop into a queen. So that was my idea. He then decided to push, which it says it's a blunder. I've made a mistake here by taking this pawn. Ideally, I would have preferred to just push with a check, and it also means I'm winning his knight, and it means he has to do this. That's the only way. And then I can, for example, just take with check, and then he'll have to do this, and then that would be a mate. But instead what happened was he moved back. So he moved forward. I then decided to take. He moved his knight completely out of danger. I saw I had this discovered check, so his king only had one square to go. I was a little bit worried that he would have some sort of ideas to stop this pawn, but of course he can't move his king here because of the pawn, so he only had one legal move, which was to move back, and I checked him with a queen. He moved back, and then that was a checkmate. So I thought that was a pretty nice game with all things considered. There was a lot of misses from my end. Typically it was all to do with taking the pieces faster, because if we move back a few moves, so if we run it back to here, for example, what I should have done as soon as he's done this was take, and then I should have just eliminated his light squared bishop and create weakness on his king side. However, like I did explain, my main thing was to do with back rank, and I wanted to back rank mate him, which I ended up doing anyway. But to probably make things easier, I should have taken, and then once he took here, then that's when I can go after this pawn and basically fork the plan an attack on the pawn as well as the rook as well. But yeah, I wish I've taken that faster, because I felt I've made things a little bit more difficult for myself, especially here. I thought if he's gonna take, I can just take his rook, but that probably wasn't the best move. But then obviously I found the winning move. I just wish instead of going the long way and taking the pawns, I should have just focused on getting the mate, because that, is essentially game over. So yeah, anyway, let's move on to the next game, which I have lost, unfortunately. So we'll go through everything. It was a game that I lost in the end game, so yeah, we can go through it and let's see how that went. So I'll see you in the second game. Okay, so this is the game that I have lost. I am ashamed to say that I did have a very easy checkmate, which I have missed in this game. So I thought I would show the accuracy and everything. So it was a typical 600 game. You can see he played worse, but he ended up winning because I resigned, and that was purely because I've made awful mistakes and the head was gone, to be honest. So yeah, let's get into it. So we started off with the London system, as you do, and in this move, that was a very interesting move, and that was a move that I wasn't very used to, and how to combat the e5 line. So I ended up pushing my bishop back, which was stupid, because if I was to use my head a little bit, I should have probably just taken, because it's essentially a free pawn, because he can't take here, because then I can just take back. So I don't understand why I pushed back. looking back at it now, sometimes you just have to watch the games back and realize the mistakes you've made. So yeah, very disappointed to have done this. He then pushed for my knight. I have put to e5, which says it's an accuracy. He then developed his bishop, and I have taken his knight. Basically just wanted to double his pawns and thinking, okay, I'll have some advantage. So I pushed the pawn, essentially trying to get my light squared bishop out, and I pushed for c5, which again is a very strange move. Surely I can't just take again yet, because if he takes, yeah, I can just develop with check. Or I can even do this where, I know I can't. I was thinking whether I can push this pawn, put my queen, and then win the bishop. But the bishop's obviously one square higher, so won't be able to do that. But yeah, I've made a mistake by pushing c5. He took, I took back. He took the pawn, I took the pawn again. And he went for a check, which I blocked with my knight. And then he obviously he took here, which that was a blunder as well. So yeah, I've played really terrible. I have then decided to castle, essentially just getting rid of the trouble. So yeah, this game was getting quite slow. I've noticed he was overloading on my knight, so I decided to push my bishop to add another protector. And in this position, again another blunder. Yeah, it's a crazy game. So what was my best move here? Yeah, it was obviously to take back, threaten the queen, take the pawn, get the queen away. Yeah, makes sense. Queen moved back, and I thought at this point, you know what, let's just trade queens. I'm happy to do that. I developed my knight, and at this point I was feeling very, very good, to be honest with you. Don't know why I pushed the light squared bishop back. But yeah, we've exchanged some pieces. And yeah, it was a very interesting move, that's for sure. I've moved back, going after his rook. And at this point I thought I was starting to get my head in the game. I was making the right moves anyway. I decided, you know what, let's just pin the knight, and I thought we are getting some sort of tactical ideas going, and I've blundered a piece. So it was a very interesting situation, because at this point I knew I'm better, but I wasn't quite sure what to do, because this pawn was only protected by this rook. In terms of this rook, I couldn't really go for a check because of the knight. So I am interested to see what was the best move in this position. Oh, it was to take. Yeah, perhaps, you know, just instead of, sorry. But then if I do this, and then he takes, and now I have a mate. It's so obvious when you look at it in this way. But yeah, so let's say what if I take? What's the best thing for him to do? Because he can't really take back, because he has to block. Even that's essentially game over, no? If I go here, the only way to stop is to probably do this. I'm guessing that's the only way of stopping the immediate mate. Because if I take, he can just sort of move back, and then the game. No, I don't really know, to be honest, because he can't go here. I guess the game just sort of continues. If I take, he could try and threaten this piece, for example, and then I just march forward, I guess. But then I probably would have marched this piece, to be honest with you, because I think if I was to go with this piece, like the arrow's showing, I would have dropped this. Oh no, actually this pawn is protected, so it doesn't really matter. But essentially, I dropped the piece and I started panicking at this point. So yeah, you'll be able to see that I made rash decisions. I've lost a rook as well because I just stopped concentrating. And I've resigned at this point. So yeah, it's a very frustrating game because if we do go back, it's simple tactics, isn't it? And to think I had a checkmating idea, takes. And what would happen if you took this? No, same thing, because it's just check. Yeah. So I was fully winning. Oh, that's really frustrating. But these things happen. And I was 584 elo at the time, so I know I could have won this game. It's just literally about doing the tactics, and there are days, and I'll be the first one to admit, where I'm just itching to play, and because I'm itching to play, I don't do my puzzles. Before I played the game today, which I've just shown you guys that I've won, I have decided to do like 10 minutes of mate and one patterns, because I think when it comes to forks and little details, I'm okay with them. It's just sometimes I get so focused on finding the little details that I forget about checkmating the king, and my goal is to win as much material as possible and either wait for my opponent to resign or have an overloaded advantage with a material where I can mate them quite easily. So, and this is a perfect example of having basically a checkmating idea and not pulling through with it. So this was definitely a game that was quite frustrating, and it's something that I just need to learn, because I'm obviously stuck at the level I'm at currently because I keep making the same mistakes. Now I am back to 592, sorry. So within the next game I should get back to 600s and then build back up from there. It's just frustrating that we were at 673. We were looking to get to 700 before I lost a bunch of games and we are back to square one, but it's okay. This is a building block, this is a journey. I just want to say thank you so much for watching these videos, and for everyone who comments, shows support, and even gives me guidance, because I want to learn as much as possible. So if you have any takes, please do let me know. If you want to watch any of my further games, make sure you subscribe for that, and if you see anything that I can improve on, please do let me know. Also, I'm thinking about doing a stream maybe once a week where I just play a bunch of games, so let me know if that's something that you guys would like to see. So yeah, thank you again for watching another episode, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.